Okay, so I reloaded R2. I'm logged into it via the console line here. Show user, you can see that I am logged in via the console line. Let's do a show run section line to see what our running config shows now. And there we go. So we wrote the config during the quiet period and these access classes were applied. And so we show access list, and that's that list that the iOS creates. So you can see if you try to get in, nope, you're not getting in. And even though we're in the normal window, we're in normal mode. Yeah, you're kind of screwed in this situation. So like I said, we're on the console line, so that's what you would have to do is have somebody on the console line. Okay, so I went ahead and removed those access classes, so now that we can go ahead and log in. And I'm going to do a little bit more pausing here. I'm going to source 3 more bad login requests, because what I want to do is I want to show you what happens normally when you don't write in the middle of the quiet period with those access classes. Okay, we're back in quiet mode again. I just sent 3 bad access requests, or 3 bad logins. So we're going to go ahead and do a show run section line just to show you that the access class is applied. Now let's do a show login and see how much time we have left. We got 41 seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and put you in the deep freeze here. Okay, and it's 40 some seconds into the future now, and we are out of quiet mode. And we're just going to go ahead and up arrow, and this is what I want to show you. Note now that those access classes are gone, so it's back to normal. We didn't have anything configured on here. So that's how it works. By default, if you don't configure your own quiet mode access list, iOS is going to create this SL_def_ACL, and it's going to apply that as an access class inbound on your auxiliary and VTY lines during quiet mode. Once quiet mode is over with, it'll go ahead and automatically remove those for you. So you know, we just happen to write the config during the quiet mode, which is a gotcha. It's kind of insidious, because if you don't know how this works and you're not expecting it, this could happen and you will never know why or what was going on. So just to give you a heads up on that. Okay, so in the interest of time, it's getting away from me here. I went ahead and forgot how to spell everything. I created an access list called myACL, and it's going to permit telnet traffic from anything on the 10.1.12.0/24 subnet. And I applied that inbound on my VTY lines on R2. And the reason I'm showing this is a best practice to limit who can access your VTY lines. You don't want that just wide open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go ahead once again and source 3 more bad login attempts from R1 and show you another gotcha. Okay, as you can tell by the mess on the screen, we're in the quiet mode. So I'm going to up arrow here. And think. There you go. What I want you to see here is specifically the VTY line. Access class SL_def_ACL inbound. Well, that's not what we configured. We configured our special access so that we could allow access from the 10.1.12.0/24 subnet. So can we telnet there? No! So we've just locked ourselves out. Fortunately, we've only locked ourselves out for the duration of login. Speaking Italian now, for another 23 seconds for the duration of the quiet mode. When the quiet mode's done, the router will remove that SL_def_ACL, and it will replace it with what you had configured prior to that. But this is another one of the gotchas. So I mean, you once you've created your access list inbound, you think that you set it up so that you can have access from your safe list. And what's going to happen is if you do not create a your own quiet mode access list, iOS is going to use its access list, its default, and it's going to deny anything external trying to get into your VTY, which means once again you're locked out of your own router. So the next thing we're going to hit is going to be configuring that quiet mode access list. And let me just show you real quick here since we're out of quiet mode. And you can see now it's removed that default ACL. It's removed this guy, and you're back to your access list, which should allow you to, there you go. So I'm not going to log in, but I'm able to open a Telnet session. Okay, let's tie this all together with a couple of best practices, and this will mitigate the couple of gotchas. The two gotchas that I showed you earlier. What I'm going to do, please excuse me while I type here. This is exciting. Okay, what I've done here is I've configured an access list that I've named aux underbar VTY underbar access, and it's permitting anything on the 10 network, so 10.0.0.0/8, and you can check out some other videos that I have for writing access lists, but I'm just telling you what this guy does. And it's going to permit any, from this host to any any destination, which basically any destination on this router. And we're going to permit Telnet. Going to do the same thing and permit SSH as well. And I'm going to go on my and access class. Cut and paste. If I can get this. Do the same thing here, but I'm going to use VTY04. And what's going on now is that I've used this as my access list. So this is a best practice. It's saying, anything on my internal network is a TENS network. Anything internal, go ahead and allow that to have either Telnet or SSH access to my VTY and my auxiliary lines. Actually, in real life, I don't use auxiliary lines, but just for the lab here, we're going to use that. And I'm going to make that more permissive than what I want. This is for, normal good times. Nobody's hacking my network. Let's go ahead and allow everybody. But now I'm going to set up another access list that's less permissive. And I'm actually going to pause the video, and I'll show you the access list because I don't want to have you guys watch me type.